The data entry side of the SIMSII cannot be properly described without talking about table maintenance. These are shortcut tables that assist the data entry operator in making the entries within the SIMSII database smoother and faster. Let's first talk about account class list. These are the type of subgroups that are described for each one of the group or dealers. In other words, we can classify our accounts using the account classes. We know that we've identified Tequila Willie's as a C+S, which communicates burglary and fire with supervised openings and closings. These are all programmable, and during system setup you may change these to anything that you want. There are quite a few of these, and these are only typical values we've inserted in here, but they do seem to have stuck with most central stations using the SIMS2. The second entry on our menu list here is account type list. Now this again is a series of different types of accounts. This covers a lot of those. If you want to modify these, of course they are available to modify. You'll find this list goes beyond the standard entries that you have, and you can add more to the end if you want and still maintain the ones that you've been using since the beginning of your installation. The next list is the context variable information. When you're in page 3 of the SIMS database and you're dealing with the context, you'll recall a series of options down below so that you can set certain contacts to be all days of the week, or they may be only Saturdays and Sundays, so forth like that. You may even select certain times that you want to exclude for your contacts or windows that you want them to have. You can set up these contact variables inside of this menu, and there's plenty examples, and you can modify them to what you want. In order to use them inside of the SIMS2 database, all you simply do is get down into the option area within those contacts, strike the F2 key, and you will get up this window that you can pick from. The next entry is the email call list. Again, in the SIMS demo, we've placed several entries in here, but this is an email list that you can add to. Your form writer computer has the ability to import all these into the form writer, so this is not something that's wasted. Typically, these will not be dealer emails because there are ways that you can automatically go get the dealer emails, but they could be general purpose emails, friends, different subgroups or support establishments that you'll want to put an email call list entry for. And then later on, when you run your reports, you get to the email list box. You can simply hit F2. This email call list will pop up, and you can select the email address that you want that particular report to go to. Next entry on our table maintenance menu list is the fax modem call list. Very similar to the concepts behind the email call list. This is just for faxing, and again, no need to put the dealers in here. This is for things that are outside the dealer or outside the accounts and are just general purpose fax numbers. Again, this is accessed by getting down to the fax number call list on your output routing screen, striking the F2, and then shipping it off to that address. There are global phone numbers. These are used to identify phone numbers that we use over and over and over again inside of the accounts. Instead of putting the account phone numbers for the different dispatching alarms and fire departments in there, all we're going to do is put the name in there along with the word global. That will then cause your database to reference back to this global list here. Now notice the first entry up there is an email address. Getting more popular today are the emailing of different guard services and capabilities. That is available just as you see up there now. You will note though that we've tied two different fields together. The phone number primary and secondary that was there before to create one longer email address. These can be sorted, and again, this is the actual phone numbers here, but inside of the accounts you're only going to see the word global. We can have open closing variable information, and this again is a pick list that can be used on the schedules page or page 4 within the account database, where we can make up all the different types of openings that we want and the comments for those, the way we want our schedules set up. This again, it helps identify and standardize on the same things that we do over and over again. There is a telephone exchange list. This is very helpful in knowing you can identify different local phone exchanges that do not require long distance dialing, so that they will bring up error screens to identify to the data entry people that long distance dialing is not required. With the advent of changing of area codes and the expansion of the 10-digit dialing now even to the local areas, this is not as usable or user-friendly as it was initially back in the early 90s. So you may have this turned off or turned on, but if you can use it, it's a great feature if you're into 10-digit dialing almost exclusively, as a lot of localities are right now. This may no longer serve a purpose for you. The last entry is the zone variable information, and again this follows the same concepts as the contact variable information. It allows you to pick certain things, certain mnemonics that you may want to, across the board, always set them up the same, and this is where you can set this initial list up. We provide, I think, probably 12 or 14 examples, but you can add to this list as much as you want, and then when you get down into the zone options down at the bottom of the page when you're in the zone info paging, you hit the F2 key and it'll bring up this pick list, and then you simply just hit the make the selection, hit the enter key, and it will lay it all across the bottom for you. This concludes our video clip on the table maintenance menu.